From the block where the bus stop talk never ended. 2 signs on the pole, that's the place I represented. Where the corners raised me, where the neighbors saved me. Now we bring that same grit to your daily HD. Click in, sit in for the crack in the paint. Old heads on the porch, young kids with complaints. We gon' laugh, we gon' build, keep it sharp like armor. New world, same heart. Barefoot and Beaumont. Ha! Welcome to Barefoot and Beaumont. Pull up a seat, you ain't gotta go far. Hit that bell, let it ring like a car alarm. You tuned in now, this the home, this the heart, this the charm. Welcome to Barefoot and Beaumont. From the sign on the pole to your phone screen glow. Every story that we show, yeah, it came from the block. Barefoot and Beaumont. We gon' rock, we gon' rock. We gon' rock, we gon' rock. Stories in the cracks of the sidewalk we step. Every frame that we shoot got respect on deck. From the first little dream on that chipped up curb to the worldwide stream. Now you catch this word. You get jokes from the stoop, you get taught from the bar, you get game from the ones who done carried the star. So when the logo pop up, know exactly who we.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. This is Bedford and Beaumont. This is Chaos and Charcuterie Live. I am Oakland Jonas Galloway, and I appreciate you all for being here. Listen, I'm here to talk about all of the latest hot topics within music, reality television, and just get into the things. You know what I mean? I'm here to just talk, chat, talk about what the people been cutting up and doing on my timeline. What is going on, JJ? How you feeling? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here, holding it down. You're one of the faves. Welcome and welcome back. Listen, I want to jump right into it because it's a whole lot going on. I'm not going to talk about everything going on. I'm probably going to save a little bit for maybe tomorrow or for Sunday. But yeah, this is the show that I do when hell is breaking loose. Hell is breaking loose. And so, first on the list, I want to talk about Martha Stewart and how she keeps getting caught filming with the Real Housewives of New York. Because this is the second time that I've seen it being reported that Martha Stewart is filming with these ladies, right? This is one angle. This is another. And you clearly see production happening. They're at Serafina in the meatpacking district. Shout out to y'all. Good press, good press. But it's interesting because she hasn't been announced as a part of the cast. They have announced the official cast, which I'm actually living for. But all I've seen when it comes to reports about this new season of The Real Housewives of New York is Martha Stewart filming with them. I haven't even seen any other clips of like the girls that are returning filming, right? Or even the new girls, right? So according to Bravo's announcement, Bravo has announced the official cast for The Real Housewives of New York season 16 in March 26, featuring a mix of returning and new faces. Returning members are Sai De Silva, Aaron Licky, and Jessel Tank, joined by newcomers Haley Glassman, Erica Hammond, and Daisy Toy. Production for the new season began in early March 26 with Carol Radziwill returning as a friend of the cast. Now that was exciting for me because Carol is one of my favorite housewives in New York's history and probably the entire franchise's history, right? I always say that I am not intensely familiar with the Real Housewives of New York's history, but I was tapped in during the Carol years. Carol Radziwill was probably my favorite New York housewife of all time. She was just she felt like the closest thing to a genuine New York or a New York that I knew anything about. And so for her to be coming back as a friend is interesting, especially after her and Andy had that little beef when she called his ass out down to the reunion and asked him, was he scared of Bethany? Luckily, they've made up. Good for her. But as far as Martha Stewart goes, what do y'all think she's doing on this show? And who do y'all think she's connected to? Because it's not like Martha Stewart needs publicity, right? It's not like Martha Stewart needs a moment. as the people say. So what do you think Martha is cooking up that she's coming on the Real Housewives of New York to clean up? Because she's already cleaned up her prison image by going and doing the talk shows that she came out and did after she came out of prison. One with Martha Live, I believe it is, and then the other one with Martha and Snoop's cooking show channel challenge battle, whatever. So it's not like she needs to clean up anything that I know of. So why do y'all think this lady is on this show? I think it's very interesting. Moving on though, I want to get into something a little more serious, and I want to talk about M.I.A. because y'all heard about her getting fired from the Kid Cudi tour. Well, I finally did some research and I figured out why, right? Because allegedly she went on what's being called a pro MAGA rant. And when I found the video that people are saying is the actual evidence of her going on a MAGA rant, it left me a little confused after I read her statement, right? So let's get into all of that first. Let's start with the video that got us here in the first place. Now they gotta start over. I'm sorry. Hold on, y'all. My bad.
Can't do illegal. There's some of you could be in the audience.
Now, that's the main video that I saw. There was another, there were other reports of her making more statements about her and her team don't have visas, she's illegal, this, that, and the third. And so when Kid Cudi released his statement, it kind of got me intrigued on what was going on, right? So when Kid Cudi released this tour update, M.I.A. is no longer on this tour. I told my management to send a notice to her team before we started tour that I didn't want anything offensive at my shows because I already knew what time it was. And I was assured things were understood. After the last couple of shows, I've been flooded with messages from fans that were upset by her rants. This, to me, is very disappointing, and I won't have someone on my tour making offensive remarks that upsets my fan base. Thank you for understanding. Roger. Is this Roger or is it Rager? I can't tell if that's an A or an O. Anyway, say all of that to say, okay, took that in, can't do illegal. Some of you in the audience probably are. At face value, offensive. Girl, what are you talking about? Right? And then I read her statement, and her statement reads, I wrote illegal or illegal on the M.I.A. LP, a song from 2010. I started this intro to this song with the statement saying I'm illegal, and I said my team hasn't gotten visas yet. Then played a song that had lyrics which said fuck the law, which I still believe if the law is unjust, fuck it. Do not gaslight my words. That is the work of Satan. I wrote borders and illegal and paper planes before you thought the immigrant rights were cool. I've had these battles by myself without the help of millions of fans backing me. I don't need virtue signal era. I don't need this virtue signal era to all of a sudden erase the entire life I've led. Jesus was an immigrant and a rebel. I have no apologies for the judgmental. Hold on one second. Let me move these comments. so I can finish reading. I have no apology for the judgmental, the wicked, and the ignorant, for these spirits. For those are spirits that we must overcome in our lives and in this world. I'm sorry, the way that she wrote some of this was diabolical. Anyway, this has left me confused because if M.I.A. and her team are all currently illegal, and the song that she's speaking of when it comes to this intro is about immigrant rights, then why would you start your statement or start your song in this set with that statement? It just, and then not follow up on it. Like it just, for me, it just doesn't seem contextually smart based on the fact of the attention span of the people who you are speaking to, not to mention the dynamics of the internet. I just don't think that it was smart for you. Like, even if this is in jest or it's cut and out of context, like it just doesn't make any sense why that soundbite is the statement that you make as somebody who is an illegal immigrant, saying what does that mean, M.I.A.? I just don't understand. And if someone can break down what this whole thing is trying to say, please let me know, because I am left more thoroughly confused by her statement in response. Like her initial statement was wild. What happened to her was just, but then this is what is going on? I'm gonna follow up on this, but it doesn't make any sense to me, because you saying something like that with no context justifies you getting thrown off of this tour. But then when you dig into it, as somebody who claims they and their entire team are illegal immigrants, I don't understand how we are having a conversation about you making a statement that appears to be anti-immigrant. It's genuinely confusing for me. It's genuinely confusing for me. I don't understand that. But I'll follow up on that. We'll talk more about it later. Can I follow up on you guys? Hold on. I'm sorry. I want to talk to you guys next. Let me just get both of these out the way real quick, and then we can have a little more fun. Y'all remember AnneMarie from a couple seasons back on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the one that was talking about the esophagus and all of that? And she battled it out with Crystal all season. She lasted one season. She got fired. So y'all heard about her husband being accused of SA and grape by multiple women, right? This happened on these reports happened in 2026. As I dug deeper into this report, it come to find out there are multiple reports stemming back from 2023, and now these new reports bring the total count of accusations up to 7 in this lawsuit, right? So I'm going to read the article from People Magazine to you guys, or at least pieces of it, to kind of flesh out what this headline is saying, right? The headline reads, Marcellus Wiley, ex-NFL player and husband of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills AnneMarie, accused of SA by former ESPN employee. Okay. Former NFL player Marcellus Wiley has been accused of SA by a former ESPN employee as well as 3 others, according to new filings obtained by Rolling Stone and People. The new allegations, which make 7 total for Wiley, age 51, after he was accused of assault by 3 others in 2023, were filed on Wednesday, April 29th, according to Rolling Stone and Us Weekly, and accused him of assaulting a former ESPN employee in 2009 and 3 others between 1995 and 1999. The former ESPN employee said in her lawsuit that Wiley, whose wife AnneMarie spent 1 season on Bravo's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills — that is such a wild place to drop that in — assaulted her in his hotel room after inviting her there under false pretenses, according to Rolling Stone. When we went to his room, Wiley excused himself to use the bathroom, the woman said in the filing, per Rolling Stone. He emerged from the bathroom naked. He pushed me up against the windows of the room so hard I thought they would shatter. I was petrified and believed I was going to be unalived. Okay. Let's see. What else do I want to read? Okay. 2 of the other new accusers claim that Wiley raped them between 1995 and 1999 when he was playing football for Columbia University and beginning his NFL career with the Buffalo Bills, according to filings obtained by People. Wiley was drafted by the Bills in 1997. Listen, the reason why I'm skipping around this article is because I'm going to go through the timeline later. What's interesting to me is what he actually had to say. Do I have the video here? Where is... I thought I put it in here. Hold on. Give me just 1 second. Let me give you guys some hold music. Hold on. Sorry. Do I not have it here? Or did I put it over here? I did not. Okay, just 1 second. Okay. Where's that video? No. Why is this not here already? Okay. Sorry about that. Let's watch what Marcellus had to say.
So in these instances, these alleged misrepresentations, let's call it that, all right? The encounters.
Not sassy.
Pick a date, pick the encounter, pick the allegation. For everyone,
I will.
I either saw, communicated through email, text, phone, was invited by these individuals after these dates to engage, to be intimate, or all the above after the dates that are in question, okay? So this matters. Why does it matter? I'm looking at my picture like, damn, this is crazy. Because it directly contradicts the narrative that they're trying to present publicly. Yep.
Is the story crazy or is the picture
like,
crazy?
Boom, like what you talking about? Okay, if somebody come in here right now, it is 6:36 in the morning. I know I'm running a little bit late, but we started a little bit late. My itty bitties are ready. I'll get them ready in a few minutes. And something happened to me. You think, you just tell me. A week later, 2 weeks later, a year later, whatever time later than 6:36, are they back hanging with me in my house, invited by me? I'm talking to them, texting to them, hanging with them, anything like that. If what I'm saying is real, would I do that? If you say yes to that, speak on it. But I got one straightforward question for all the accusers. Why did you continue to see or maintain friendly communication at minimum? That can be verified, will be verified, with someone that you're accusing after the alleged incidents. Oh, because once again, what we just saw, what occurred in the Stephon Diggs situation, they out there dancing in the videos, not knowing that they're being filmed and not knowing that is of record. There are so many records and receipts that will be brought to show people you say one thing, but you did another.
Yeah, I hear you, player, but what doesn't make sense to me is your timeline on all of this, right? So for me, what is confusing is the fact that per the dates of accusations, you had time to debunk and derail these accusations long time ago. You remember a few minutes ago, I just said that he was accused of accusations earlier in 2023, and now there's 4 new filings in 2026, bringing the total of accusations to 7 with the new lawsuit, right? So, per my research, all of these accusations happened between 1994 and 2009, right? So I'm going to go through the timeline and read what I researched. 1994 to 1999, the alleged incidents. Multiple incidents of SA and grape are alleged to have occurred, including 3 at Columbia University in 1994, 2 in California between 1995 and 1999, one in 1999 in a hotel, and an alleged 2000 hotel assault. November 2023. The first lawsuit was filed under New York's Adult Survivors Act by a woman alleging Wiley raped her in his Columbia University dorm room in 1994. Late 2023, Wiley publicly denied the initial allegations, calling them BS. March 2025, 2 additional women filed lawsuits alleging rape by Wiley at Columbia University in 1994, joining the 2023 lawsuit. April 2026, 4 new separate allegations were filed in court, bringing the total number of accusers to 7. These new claims included under former ESPN production assistant alleging a 2009 assault under another woman alleging grooming that began when she was 13. April 2026, the plaintiff's request to convert the existing lawsuits into a class action lawsuit against Wiley and Columbia University. May 5th, 2026, Wiley released a YouTube video denying all new allegations, stating he has evidence that contradicts the accuser's timelines and claiming lawsuits are financially motivated. May 6, 2026, Wiley took to his ex, formerly Twitter, to defend himself against accusations, promising to fight the claims. So my whole thing is, why, if you have all of these receipts and you spent time with these people and you hung out with these folks and doing all of these things, why is it that you did not drop all of this in 2023 when the first lawsuits were filed? If you had receipts of people still communicating with you, if you had receipts of people still being in proximity to you, hanging out with you by your account, platonically at the very least, which implies that you were still sleeping with some of these women. And under my observation, you can't prove that, but you can prove that you at least had a platonic connection with these women, but you want to try to flex a little bit and say that you still was sleeping with some of these women. Got it. So why didn't you defend yourself in 2023 with these receipts when the first lawsuits were filed? That doesn't make any sense. 2 other people filed lawsuits in 2025. Where were these receipts then? Where were these countersuits then? Where was this defense then? Where were these receipts then? Right? Now, here we are in 2026, and 4 new people are coming out about assault, all conveniently from the same place. It really seems like you was a wild boy down to the Columbia University, bruh. And it just seems like the first couple of people who were brave enough to actually speak out just opened the floodgates. And once this story actually got around to the public, because clearly you weren't that famous of a football player for this to be such a great story for the masses to not all drop at once. Um, or maybe people were just gathering their receipts and their lawyer was just getting their cases together and they filed when they were ready or they were most prepared. Whatever the case may be, the fact that there is a timeline of at least 3 brackets of people filing cases against you, it really just doesn't sit well in the case of everybody's lying. Of everybody just want money. Because you're retired. So, not to say that, not to Andy Cohen you when it comes to Chris Samuels, but I don't know what your money looks like now, but it just doesn't. Why would all of these incidences from the 90s when you were in university, why are they now coming after you now after you're retired under the guise of the what's the name of the act? I'm sorry. The New York Adult Survivors Act, right? Why would they wait to come out under this when they could have came after you when you were they could have came after you when you were drafted. They could have came after you when you first renegotiated your contract. They could have came after you so many times before, but yet they choose when you're retired and sitting on a podcast talking shit about other people in the media to now all want to sue you within a 3-year span of time. Where are the receipts? And why are you talking about it on a podcast? Why have you not already filed paperwork? The only way I would have spoken out about this is if I would have already filed a countersuit with paperwork that's already been put into discovery. I don't understand what you were sitting on a podcast yapping on a mic for when you haven't done any actual action in real life to defend yourself. Why is it that so many people in the public space want to defend themselves in the court of opinion, in the court of public opinion, before they want to actually defend themselves in the court of law? You are being sued for God knows how much money. If it's 7 people, I'm sure it's multi-millions of dollars. But it just doesn't make sense how you choose to defend yourself publicly before you choose to defend yourself in the court of law. And right, or not said a goddamn fucking thing at all. Because you brought your sassy ass down to the podcast studio and wanted to pop your shit for your mini-me. And it's just, you sound guilty than a motherfucker. No shade. You sound like one of the dudes that went to Freaknik and popped off and did some real extra ass shit. And now you got a whole nother life that's coming back to haunt you. And now you trying to say everybody just want money. Why? Like, do you have some major investments that I don't know about? Like, did you invest in Ring like Nas? Did you invest in Uber like Jay-Z? I'm confused. Like, what? Like, why is it that they are waiting now? It just doesn't. Okay. All right, Marsalis. All right, Marsalis. We just gonna see how this plays out. I'm waiting on the receipts. I'm Whitney Houston. I want to see the $170,000 worth of receipts that Whitney Houston paid for drugs. I want to know. I want to wait and I want to see, because it just don't make no sense how you have literally 7 total accusers with accusations of rape essay, and grooming, one from the age of 13 years old, all from incidences occurring in New York, California, and Texas. And all you got to say is this is legal extortion. Yes, the man is big sassy. The man was big sassy. Like it was very like I don't know who I don't know who this girl thinks she talking to. Like I don't know. The audacity. Like it was giving girl, sit down. Sit down. Like get up out your pamper, sir. Hey, sit down. Like unplug the microphone, in the words of Jesse Wu. Ugh. I can't stand no grown ass man that just wanna be a punk. That just don't make no sense to me, but God bless y'all. Um, hold on. Where is did I not put that one in here too? My God, today. Hold on, y'all. More hold music because the next story I want to go to, I want to play the video. Hold on. Hold on. More hold music. I just didn't put it in. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Cinco de Mayo is holiday time. Holiday time is Do I need to convert it? Is that maybe why? If that's the reason why, I'm not gonna play it. It's fine. Let's see. Where is it? You know what? I can't believe that a girl literally has a hit literally saying appetite in a damn song. That is buck ass wild to me. Oh, here it is. Sorry. Okay. Okay, pause that. Okay, so next story I want to talk about is Victoria Monet going on Angie Martinez's podcast and talking about how she struggles with dating women because they only approach her sexually, right? And I found this very interesting, and it made me want to go back and watch the entire interview, which I didn't even know came out, which is why I didn't know that it was happening or why I haven't seen the whole thing. But she said this. There was a whole 4-minute clip that expounds on the entire thing, but I'm not gonna play that. I am gonna play the clip that's specifically catering to the headline here. Watch this.
But you said he.
He, yeah. Well, only because
Is that what you look? Because you've been open about
the girls do me dirty.
Flowing.
Dirty.
Me?
No, the girls.
the girl. Really?
Yeah.
I would. This is not ever something I've ever explored, but I would always imagine that girls would be easier to manage.
Worse.
Yeah.
Really?
My
She's
experience has
openly
been the
bisexual,
worst,
child.
yeah.
She been out
How
here,
so?
flowing.
Just bad picking.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that. But also, like, girls, they don't really approach me seriously. They approach me like sensually. And I'm like, well, I would want it to be something more serious.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really gotten that approach from many women. They're just like, oh, she's beautiful, she's attractive, or like talking about my body and stuff. So
Yeah, it's it's like a
she a bad
sexual
bitch.
sexual,
thing.
yeah.
I wonder if Chloe is out here flowing. Because I could imagine that would be her perception too, or her perception from the audience. I can imagine that would be her experience as well. That's very interesting to hear about. I feel bad for her because, I usually hear the opposite experience when it comes to women who predominantly date men, jump over into the pond and start flowing. I usually hear that the reason that they get over there flowing is because women treat them better and they're softer and they're more in touch with their emotions, and they're more emotionally available to the women. And so they end up getting a more well-rounded experience when it comes to dating women because they get the sexual exploration that they don't necessarily get from men. They can also get, the penetration that they can get from men through sex toys, but then they also get the emotional connection that men usually lack because they're emotionally unavailable. But however, she said she would like, what type of women are you attracted to, Victoria? Because, you know, it's partially what you attract and it's partially what you are attracted to because it takes two to tango, right? So like people can be attracted to you and you cannot bite, but the people who are attracted to you, the ones that you actually give time to and give space to and create space for, you're attracted to as well. So, how do we get there? What type of women are you attracted to? Because you may attract fuck girls, but which of the fuck girls do you like? And which of the girls that are attracted to you do you ignore because they're too nice? It's giving you like bad girls. It's giving you like bad girls. You think she like femmes. I think she likes a STEM type. I think she likes a person who presents femme but gives stud energy and is more masculine than her, but she's still pretty and she's still a bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because she can get niggas, but she still likes a pretty girl because it's different, right? And it just, you know, it's a whole thing. And you know, it's girls and it's that. She gives one of those girls, right? Um it just makes me think that you like bad bitches. It makes me think that you like bad girls. It makes me think that you like girls that are really pretty and girls who you have fun with. Like it makes me think you like girls that you can kiss in the club, but so not DJ Tracy. Not DJ Tracy was definitely not licking Victoria's box while Hazel was in the room. Definitely not that. Not that. Tiana Taylor. Kaylani, because if y'all been paying attention to the streets, it did just come out that Kaylani and Victoria Monet have both admitted to writing songs about each other since 2014. I definitely just read about that over the past week too. So that kind of plays into it's like, okay, so you and Kaylani been writing songs about each other. She just dropped a whole song called Folded, Out the Window, all this other mess. Are you the bitch that she's singing to? I didn't mean to call you a bitch, but like, are you the woman that she's singing to? What type of toxic love affair y'all got going on? What is going on? What did Kaylani do to you, Victoria Monet? Mm. Hmm. 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 That just looks away to me. That just looks away. I like because I'm like, what type of girls are you attract? Like, what type of girls you out here running into that are out here tearing you down like this in your heart and your soul? Like, I don't know. But moving on, shout out to you. Hopefully, you find a nice man that's gonna be a good stepdaddy to Hazel. Which hopefully her father is still involved enough to where a stepdaddy won't need to be as involved, and it won't be necessary and just a perk. But anyway, or maybe you'll run into a nice lesbian who will rock your world. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about something messy real quick. Y'all heard about Todd and his new scheme with Peter Thomas? With Peter? Peter Thomas and Todd Tucker launching new reality show featuring RHOA ex-husbands. Well, ain't that many damn RHOA ex-husbands. Who else y'all gonna call? Y'all gonna call Deshaun ex-husband? Y'all gonna call Ed Hartwell? Y'all gonna call Bob? Y'all gonna call, oh, well, I guess y'all can get a cast together. No shade. Y'all gonna call Simon? I mean, he deported, but he's gotten back into the country several times. Y'all gonna call, who else can they call? Uh, uh, Y'all can call a couple people. Y'all can, okay, okay. Well, now wait a minute. Now I just gave y'all 4, and this is 2, and of course, okay, I see something going on here. This is Benji as fuck, and I see Todd is putting Candy's money to use. I love it. Now Peter. Now normally, I would think that this was like a joke, right? Normally, I would think that this is a joke. I would think that this is, bullshit, right? But I want to read the article for you guys, and then I want to tell y'all what Peter had to say. Good bitch. No, don't call Walter because she wasn't married to him. Call Mark. Mark is messy. Call baby. Because if you going to call one of Kenya's ex-boyfriends, call Matt. Call Matt. The one that was throwing rocks through her windows while Kenya was calling Candy while her phone was ting-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. And call Matt Banji ass. Because he going to come on and crank it. But I would say call Mark because Mark is messy. Mark is messy. Mark is going to come on and crank it. And Mark is not going to get into no fight. So he's Bravo approved, right? I don't understand why Bravo ain't done a show about the husband, ain't done some sort of spinoff about the husband, especially while they've been doing this Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. I don't see why in the midst of them putting season 4 on hold because of the whole Brandy Glanville, Caroline Manzo thing. I don't understand why they didn't sneak a season in of husbands, do a whole season of husbands and take the husbands on a trip. And even if it wasn't all Bravo ex-husbands, y'all could have roped in some Married to Medicine husbands because y'all can't tell me them boys over there don't get down. If y'all would have roped Cecil over there for Married to Medicine and damn Eugene, y'all would have had a time. Y'all would have had a time. Matt in jail. Matt is in jail. Is Matt really in jail? Seriously? Well, damn, I didn't know. And Peter just got out of jail, so I'm sure him and Peter would tussle boots. No shade, but let me read the article for y'all really quick, and then I'm gonna play Peter's admittance of this show happening and what he had to say about it. Right? So, Peter Thomas and Todd Tucker launching new reality show featuring RHOA ex-husbands. Former Real Housewives of Atlanta star Peter Thomas has confirmed he's officially signed on for a brand new reality series centered around former husbands from the franchise. During a recent interview with the blogger Michelle ATLEN Brown, or as K. Michelle would say, Michelle straight from the ass blogs, Peter opened up about the upcoming project, which appears to focus on ex-husbands connected to the RHOA universe. Call Apollo, too, down there. While Peter refused to confirm the full cast, names like Apollo Nida, Bob Whitfield, Ralph Pittman. Call that man out that damn basement and get him on these cameras. Call that nigga out the basement and get him on these cameras. Yes, God. Yes, God. Yes, God. Bob, Ralph Pittman, Mike Hill, and even Mark Daly. See, I told you they gonna call sassy ass Mark. I told you they gonna call sassy ass Eric Benet ass Maxwell Angel Wings ass Pretty Wings ass Mark. I told you they gonna call that nigga. Were brought up during the conversation. I can't tell you who's gonna be there. I just know that I signed on, Peter said. Peter made it clear the series is not intended to be a messy tell-all where ex-husbands trash their former wives. Well, I mean, Peter, we've been seeing you do that in the blogs for years. You were bashing your ex-wife in prison. You were literally on the phone in prison to somebody that talk about how Cynthia ain't brought her ass down there to see you. Or maybe it was an interview after you got out, but like, what? Okay. Okay. Quote, this is not a situation where they try to do a dig up some house husband to come and talk shit, he explained. It's people talking about how the show impacted them, good or bad. According to Peter, many of the men who appeared on RHOA have never truly had the opportunity to share their side of the story. There's a lot of men on the show that I feel like need a voice, he added. Oh, well, that was giving a producer tease. That was giving producer tease. That was giving, oh, I'm getting ready to crank it for the girls. It's messy. You were bashing your ex-wife to her face. You literally had her on like the one episode of that podcast you did when she had that bowl wig. when she had the curly from Hey Arnold. Cynthia, I'm glad you never pulled that wig out again. That curly from Hey Arnold, girl, mess. But you have bashed this woman ever since y'all got divorced. You have bashed her at every given opportunity you can. You've talked about like this lady, like this. You talked about this lady and the fact that she had to sue you for money that you owed her. Peter, get your shit together. Get your shit together and keep it a stack because I actually like the idea. Don't get me wrong. I like the idea. But if you're going to try to pump fake us and be hoity-toity about what you really finna do when you know you finna come on here and crank it, that's going to piss me off. You talking about the women is not going to piss me off. But it's wild to me that y'all got a whole reality show about this. Why is this not a podcast? Wasn't Ralph doing a podcast down to the basement? Why ain't this ain't no podcast? Because for me, if it's not gonna be a full-blown like ex-husband show, like real reality show of like you navigating life after being these women's wives, being these women's husbands, and how the show has impacted the way that you navigate life after being married to them and now not having the access to the show and the platform that those women gave you, then I don't really want to see this for real. Like if the women aren't coming on the show, like if Phaedra not coming to bring the boys over, or if Aiden ain't driving Phaedra over to go see Apollo to talk about Dylan and his grades, then I don't want to see this. If we not finna see Kenya doing drop off with Brooklyn to Mark's apartment in Atlanta, since he allegedly lives there now, I don't want to see this. If we're not finna see Candy and Todd having a conversation about Chidi Pablo and about the fact that it is being reported that Candy was willing to stay with Todd if he was apologetic, but he didn't give a fuck, and that's why she filed for divorce, I don't want to see this. If we not gonna have a conversation with Noel and Peter, because I feel like they haven't talked in years. As sad as it is to say, I feel like they ain't talked in years. Do I feel like Peter had every intention to continue a relationship with her? Absolutely. But I feel like as the relationship with Cynthia got strained, the relationship with Noel got strained. And Noel gives one of those people, she real, cool, calm, and collected because, she's emotionally stunted a little bit. So she's, taking her childhood in her 20s and she's reclaiming her time emotionally. So she don't give the person that's gonna pop off on a nigga, but she is the person to me that you not gonna fuck with her mama. You ain't fucking with her mama. Kenny not going over there. I feel like Kenny might go over there under the right circumstances. Because this might, because think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Candy might go over there because you remember Candy got that first look deal with NBC Universal while she was still married to Todd. Was that broken down in the community property? This may be a part of the divorce settlement. This may be a part of them splitting up that deal or figuring out how they were going to structure that or figure that out. I don't know if Candy's name is the only one that's on that deal or if she brought Todd in on it. That is the specifics that I wish would fucking leak. But this may be a part of that. This Candy going over there might be the reason why they both reported that their monthly income is $22,000. No shade. If she goes over there and EP the show, I would live. You can't tell me that that lady is not finna pull a Janisha John and have her name on the show as a producer. If she's not the EP, she damn sure gonna be listed as a producer. I ain't no way for me. That just seems like it's a given, right? That just seems like it's a given to me, right? Let me know what y'all think about that. And let me know who y'all want on that show. Because Mike Hill, I don't give a damn about nothing that he got to say for real. But I feel like he would be willing to do it because he actually met Cynthia on a dating show down to the Steve Harvey. So I feel like he'd be willing to come and jump on camera, right? Mark, I want to do it, but I feel like he's probably the least willing to do it, right? Y'all need to call Croy Bierman motherfucking ass down there. Get Croy down there. I don't want Kim Zolciak nowhere near the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I do want Croy Bierman's ass down to the Real Ex-Husbands of Atlanta. I do want that. Yeah, this show need to go on and happen. I don't know where it needs to go or whose channel it need to be on or what app it's gonna be on, because I don't think that this is going anywhere near Peacock or Bravo. But I feel like this could be a nasty all black situation or like a nasty BET never mind, Paramount Plus situation in the BET division. You know what I mean? It could go over there. Moving on real quick, I got two more stories and then I'm gonna hop off of here. I want to have a quick conversation about something that I came across on the internet when it comes to one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, Funky Dineva. He is literally an idol of mine. I love him so much. I've watched him literally for 15 plus years at this point. I've been watching Funky Dineva since the My Hair Is Laid like videos, like literally been watching him since then, since the inception of YouTube. And he had a conversation with the We So Crazy podcast, and he admitted some things about his tenure on Sister Circle, that talk show. And it struck me and it kind of left me with thoughts. So let's take a look at that.
Actually a very pivotal moment in my career too, because it was the first time that it was like, okay, he's bigger than just the jokes and the antics. Like he's actually smart. But here's something funny. I actually self-sabotaged this opportunity.
Oh,
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I wasn't confident. A lot, it's weird when you're dealing with celebrity people. They've got money. They're all put together. You're coming in broke. I didn't have no car.
damn.
I had 2 missing side teeth at the time. And to mind you, I'm the one throwing to commercial. I ain't even got no side teeth at the time. I'm like, and coming up next, Phil Thornton on Sister Circle. I'm trying to smile like this. I was going through a lot personally, or whatever. And in hindsight, I can definitely say I self-sabotaged that opportunity because shit, I think I only lasted 2 or 3 weeks on air.
We sound crazy.
That is very honest. And I appreciate the self-awareness when it comes to his time on that show and recognizing that he wasn't ready and recognizing that he did self-sabotage it, because I have heard him speak on his time on the show before and speaking about how he was late to the show and how there was a point where he was literally so late, like he missed the beginning of the show and he was supposed to be there at the beginning of the show. And so they just told him, don't even come in. Like, I remember him telling that story somewhere. It's very big of him to say that he wasn't ready. That is something that I don't think a lot of people will ever be willingly ready to admit in real time or at all, even in retrospect, like it's given here. I think that it's wild that somebody who has all the potential got the opportunity and self-sabotaged it, but it makes me wonder what was going on at the time. what mentally kept him from fully being able to step into the blessing that was handed to him. Because I hear him talk about the side teeth, and listen, I've got side teeth missing too, you know what I'm saying? But there's a story behind all of that, which I'm more than willing to share. And luckily, at this point in my life, I have the confidence now at the beginning of my career that he didn't have at the beginning of his. So, um, stay tuned for that story to be told along my journey and all of the other platforms you'll see me on at some point. But um I wonder what is what is the complex that allows you to go so far to step into the opportunity, and what happens when you get into the opportunity that triggers that insecurity for you? Like, when does the insecurity come in where you begin the self-sabotage? What is the moment where you all of a sudden feel like you don't deserve because it's not when the opportunity is offered. So is it when you sign the contract? Is it when you show up on set? Is it when the first episode is done? I wonder when that kicked in for him, and when that self-sabotage started to happen, because it's so sad. Because I was really excited to see that show happen with him on it, because the show was called Sister Circle and there was a male presence. And I'm someone who has not talked about this a lot, but I have spoken about this maybe once or twice publicly, where sometimes I kind of feel alienated in the support that I have for women's plight that I actually relate to, because I feel like I'm invading women's spaces, speaking about women's issues, even though I do have a certain level of advocacy for women's issues based on the relatability that I have, or the observational um, context that I've seen, or the empathy that I have just as a good person. I think that it was interesting to see a gay man within these spaces be welcomed. So for him to get the opportunity and then self-sabotage it, it makes me wonder what happened. And it also makes me wonder what growth occurred between that time and him getting TGIF, excuse me, that allowed, like, what growth happened between those two shows that allowed him to be ready for that, and allowed that to soar to the heights that it did before its ultimate demise. Hmm. I I appreciate the self-awareness. Great story, bro. Um, Last story on my list. Wonder what he learned from that experience. I really do wonder. I really do wonder what growth happened, what he learned, what what the clicks and the epiphanies were, what the aha moments were for him that made him realize, one, he self-sabotaged this, two, um if he is able to pinpoint what those things were in his life that allowed him to self-sabotage, and if he can actually recall what the timeline was of when that self-sabotage started to happen. I wonder if he's done all of that work to recall all of that. I'm definitely curious. um Last story on my list for the night, I want to talk about Kelly Rowland via the dream, technically, and how the the dream said in an interview, which is conveniently also with the We Sound Crazy podcast, but the video was an hour and a half long, and I didn't actually find the clip that I wanted to find of him talking about it. But the headline says, the dream stated in an interview with the We Sound Crazy podcast that Kelly Rowland has an album called Drea that hasn't been released. Now, mind you, he said in a clip that I did find that Drea is an alter ego that he has, or that she has for herself. I can't remember. But he did tell the story about how she was included on an interlude on one of his albums, and there is an aggressive side of Kelly Rowland that she doesn't show to a lot of people. Mind you, Drea comes from her full name, Kelendria, right? So, mind you, you got this whole album worth of music you've been sitting on. You in the studio doing music now for a new album. And the Dream ain't never put out no dance music, far as I know. I know Dream is an R&B producer, right? And what I've been hearing as far as snippets of who you've been working with on this album is giving very R&B. It's giving rhythm and blues, right? Every time I hear that Kelly Rowland is doing new music or got music somewhere or anything regarding Kelly Rowland and music, it always makes me wonder what happened to her in her dance era that she will not revisit it. Because that lady could have had so many hits as a dance artist. Like, do you realize that Erica Jane came onto the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with like 8 number ones on the dance charts already when she joined the show and got number 9 with How Many Fucks Do I Give? Like 8 or 9. I can't remember, but I think it was 8 and then she got 9 on the show. So Kelly Rowland really could have been the queen of the fucking dance charts. Like Kelly Rowland really could have been the queen. She could have been the African queen of dance music all this time. And I just don't understand why she didn't lean into it. What happened in her experience with dance music that ran her off of this, that she got that one number one with motivation, and ever since then she is going to drop R&B music about sex. What happened? I wonder why she don't dilly dally down to the dance music no more. I really wonder. I don't know. I really don't know. But I am excited to see what is going on with the new music that she is recording. I wonder if The Dream is announcing this because they're going to drop this music somehow that she has been holding called Drea. I wonder if this is going to drop as a mixtape or something to kind of hold us over until she drops this new album and gets ready for this new tour that she's claiming that she's doing. Um, I want to be excited, but I want to ask this lady questions more than anything. So I guess, I'm excited. Let me know what y'all think about it. Um, this is all I got for today's show. I had some other topics, but I want to try to keep the show at about an hour. Um, Let me know what y'all think. Let me know if y'all want me to start dropping the link for y'all to come up and talk about topics. Um, I am thinking about going live within the next couple days to talk about some more stories that are going on. I'm ready for I'm ready for this too. I'm ready for this too. I finally got Shopper Chop Live figured out. I've gotten some things worked out behind the scenes and I'm in pre-production for that. I'm figuring it all out. It's coming around. It's tightening up. I've got it figured out. I just need to lock in a couple things and it's going to start within the next week or two. Shopper Chop Live is going to start within the next week or two. There's an initial plan that I have for the show that I'm piecing together, and um, if that is not the initial plan, or if that's not going to work, then the pivot that I have is just as good, and I just have to put one other piece in place for it to happen. So it's fine. We're gonna have it together within the next week or two. I'm just giving it a little time to make sure that plan A is either going to work or not going to work. So I'm trying to give as much time as possible, but I'm also running out of patience because I am a Virgo. So um Give me a week. And if it's not happening next Tuesday, it's definitely happening within the next 2 weeks. I'm saying Drea album. I need that on Shopper Chop. Oh, you already know. Shopper Chop is waiting on it. Shopper Chop is waiting on it because I'm gonna have a lot to say. I'm gonna have a lot to say, and I'm gonna be listening to it with an open mind. I'm going to be listening to it with an open mind, but I am going to be critiquing the fuck out of it. No shade, because I'm like, Kelly, what did you abandon June's Diary to do? Right? Is Drea the album that she abandoned June's Diary to go do? I wonder, because after she put together June's Diary on Chasing Destiny, she left managing and working with that group to go and work on music and go do an album and do all of that, but the music never came. All we got was Dumb and we got Coffee, but we never got an album, right? So I wonder what happened. Is this the album that she went and did when she left June's Diary to drown? Anyway, I appreciate y'all for being here. Make sure you guys like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you guys can catch Shopper Chop pre-recorded and live, The Fourth Wall pre-recorded and live, and Chaos and Charcuterie whenever I decide to go live when there's just too much going on for me to keep to myself. I am your host, Oakland Jonas Galloway, and I appreciate you all for being here. That has been our show. Jump down in the comments again. Make your voices heard. Run my engagement up. I will talk to y'all soon. Misbehave yourselves. Peace.
Click and sit in for the crack in the paint. Old heads on the porch, young kids with complaints. We gon' laugh, we gon' build, keep it sharp like armor. New world, same heart. Barefoot and Beaumont. Welcome to Barefoot and Beaumont. Pull up a seat, you ain't gotta go far. Hit that bell, let it ring like a car alarm. You tuned in now, this the home, this the heart, this the charm. Welcome to Barefoot and Beaumont. From the sign on the pole to your phone screen glow. Every story that we show, yeah, it came from the block.